Hi, I'm KK. I'm an entrepreneur who has been in the commercial vehicle business for 19 years. I'm also an ex-multi-million commercial vehicle business owner, and I now own an EV company selling lorries and vans.
I'm going live to share my story on how I went from being a criminal profiler to taking on the first sales job and ultimately building the largest commercial vehicle training company in Western Singapore, Bell Auto, a subsidiary of GoBell. I'll also share with you how I made my first million before 35 years old while having a family, why I sold the company and downsized to a small company. I'll also share the struggles I face and give life and business advice for aspiring entrepreneurs. If you want to see the raw and real story of a successful entrepreneur who has been in the top leagues, join me live this Thursday, 8 p.m. on the Wacky Creatives YouTube channel, where I answer live calls and take on questions live with all viewers. This is my edgy entrepreneur story.
Alright, we're live. Hello! KK, say hello.
Hi. Where's the camera?
This camera, look
Okay,
at the
hi,
camera.
hi.
Okay, so welcome to the SG Entrepreneur Story. Today, we have a new guest, KK. KK, can you do a quick introduction about yourself?
Okay, my name is KK. I was an ex-criminal profiler and left the police force. Subsequently, take on my first sales jobs, dealing with commercial trading business. And then after that, I started to go into digital platform to do also another commercial vehicle trading, but digitally. Subsequently, I went to a joint venture with GoBell, and that's where and finally sold the business again and scaled down to a smaller company selling EV trucks and vehicles. Yeah, so my office now is centrally located in the Xingming area.
Okay.
Yep.
Alright, thanks for the introduction, KK.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we start the podcast, I want to quickly do a preface because this is only our second podcast of the SG Entrepreneur Story. Basically, what this podcast is about is we invite entrepreneurs, successful, rising, or struggling, to join the podcast and share about their story of how they got from zero to where they are right now lah. And you don't have to be a very successful person, or you don't have to be very successful to be on this podcast or whatnot. But today we have a very successful entrepreneur, so yeah, it's good. KK, maybe you can share with me a little bit about how you started and your childhood lah. How you started from your childhood.
Okay, my childhood, I have basically I talk about the environment I'm in. Kampong days, I have actually two kampongs, one in Jalan Kayu and one in the Old Seletar Market, has been demolished and make way for a new establishment now. So these are the two areas that actually I learned a lot. I honed my skill, trading skill particularly, meeting people skill socially. And let's talk about the Seletar, where we have provision shops. My uncle ran provision shops. My auntie ran a chicken stall. My second uncle runs a poultry pork business store. So every weekend I'll be there to help out tending to these three stores, from provision shops, handling the cashiers, all the way to selling porks, to different type of customers. At the same time, I realized that this is a trading business, and that's a time where actually I took interest into meeting people and how people buy and sell goods, right? And then that is, I think, apart from small little detail, I think generally people is the one that really put me into a bigger platform that I feel I can do a lot more. The kampong days at the old Jalan Kayu, just behind the roti prata, I actually do a lot of catching over there, at the same time playing with cousins. One of my most interesting product that I catch from the backyard would be fighting spider. So I'm in the primary school. At the same time, the kids that time was basically playing with spiders. And then the opportunity came for one time, they were buying spiders. So I then catch some king spider, some male, female spiders, then start to trade in school. And one spider I can sell for about $50 at the time. And of course, in schools, I'm one of the most naughty one, and often got in trouble with anyone, everyone, in fact. So be it playing cards, be it gambling, be it playing truant, I think that is a lot more in me, because the time my dad and mom basically are working, and we spend most of the time, playing. Not much of a time where we are basically studying. So my environment actually give me a lot of opportunity to meet with people. At the same time, the trading environment that I honed my skill then. So yeah.
Were you primary school age around this time? This whole trading spider experience?
Come again?
Were you in like primary school during this period when you were trading spiders?
Yes, I was in primary school, yes.
Other than trading spider, like how were you as like life in primary school?
Well, there's one thing I think I did a lot of, in fact, gambling. I literally, we are like playing cards almost every day, So gambling is one. The other one will be, of course, playing with goalie, Goalie comes in the form of cash. We put money into that pit, and then we pit against each other. And every week, basically, I'm pretty good in doing that. So I'm like making about $30 per week,
Okay.
And that's a decent pocket money, which my dad no need fund me. And I guess that one really put me into how money can be earned in the quickest form manner. And losing money really isn't for me. So I probably have not experienced losing money then, since young. So,
Young at least.
Since young, until primary school.
Yeah. Oh, what is goalie actually?
Goalie is a glass marble that we play on the sand pitch. And then we will try to outbeat each other by hitting, the balls of the opponent out of the sand pit.
Then the winner take out the pot.
Winner take from the pot. There are different games. I think the most important thing, the most basic one will be putting the money into that hole. Then we got to use the glass marble to hit the coins out from that hole, right? Or that circle, we call it. Yeah. So that's one money making opportunity for young kids, that time.
Since young, I started since young. Already.
Yes.
But then, like, you say you're very truant and you like to gamble all this, right? Then how do your parents think about this,
They can't control me. Basically, I was beyond control. Really beyond control. I was, literally, the most important part, I think, is that I didn't ask any pocket money from them. So, well, as a parents, if you keep demanding for money from the parents, of course, they will start to question. But I didn't, I basically was funding all my food to my childhood, lifestyle with the money I make.
Since primary school,
Yeah, since primary school.
Is it $50 a lot last time in primary school?
Per day, I'm getting 50 cents from my dad.
50 cents?
Yeah, it's pocket money, 50 cents.
What's the standard pocket money last time?
Some of my classmates was like getting about a dollar. Some are getting $1.50 and $2. Yeah, so these are all our so-called target
audience.
Target people that we can, make money from them.
Wow, so 50 cents is a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, $50 is a lot at that time.
Yeah, $50 is a lot. I mean, those kids that time when they need money, they won't get from parents through legal ways. Yeah, they basically steal from parents.
That's true.
And there's one parent that came to school and come after me.
Oh, really? How happened?
Demanding for the money back,
Oh, shit. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there was one experience that I got, okay.
Oh, they must be scared,
Okay, that's the first time I think I'm used to confronting, the elderly, those parents.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's quite used to that, talking to them and convincing them that I didn't force, your child to pay me that, the $50 for that spider. Yeah, but they wanted it. Yeah. Yep.
Well, then last time you told me you were saying you were very truant. Can you like tell me more? Like what kind of truant?
Well, okay, fighting is very common for us during that age. Truan, in a way, I think we extended beyond our area of comfort zone.
Okay.
As I said, I have been to multiple neighborhoods. Means I'm staying in Ang Mo Kio, so my neighborhoods is around Ang Mo Kio area, and we went across to other neighborhoods to then challenge, be it the other kids, be it the Goli marble game, or doing some kind of fighting as well.
Fighting.
Yeah, of course. That is Ang Mo Kio. Of course, there are 3 different playgrounds that I play. The other one will be Jalan Kayu, one will be the Oslida. Then each of the different environment give me a different experience in life, because of course different people stay in different area, give you different angle of how you grew up, right? So I think growing up, the time was among these 3 places that give me a lot of experience dealing with people.
It's very community driven. I feel like last time you say like the playground, and then all that, like everybody around you affect who you are last time, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah. So for me, I think I love to study people. I love to understand the characteristic and the personality of people. Yeah. So I think people is something which gave a lot of interesting understanding of what we want to do in future.
Then networking must be super easy for you now, actually.
Kind of second nature. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, for the live viewers, do you guys have any questions about KK's childhood that you guys want to ask a bit more about? I'm sure you guys got a lot of questions. If Gerald, then feel free to just pop in anything that comes in. Yeah. Okay. So you were saying that's your primary school, and like you're very truant, you play gamble a lot, learn how to make money, all this, right? And then like maybe moving on to secondary school a bit, how was it like?
Oh yes. So before I enter Sec 1, there was this thing that there's a turning point in life because of the uncontrolled environment that my dad couldn't control me. He put me to stay with my auntie. Right, I'm very close to her, and together with the 3 cousins that I'm very close now. Actually, one main thing that changed me is because of the environment, the conditions that gave me a lot of time to mingle with those people, to gamble, to run around. It's no longer there. So when I was forced to stay with my auntie, the environment changed completely. I can't go down, no friends there. I start to condition myself to the place I'm staying with her. And then my cousins, who are 5 years older, some 6 years older than me, I start to follow them to do the thing that they do. They are more educated, more obedient. In terms of going with them, I think I learned a lot more. So that was the time that I actually transformed. That literally 2 years made me change completely.
2 years only?
2 years only. So while Sec 1, I was already staying with them. Sec 2, I was still staying with them. And that really transformed me. I was no longer the naughty kids that they used to know me. Yeah. So in Sec 1, Sec 2, I will start to join CCAs, start to do counseling in schools.
Counseling?
Yep, counseling in schools. Basically, we are counselors. In
you
schools.
counsel people? Oh, okay.
Basically, is to manage people.
Oh, okay. Student counselor.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yep. So the CCA is also part of it because uniform group.
Got it. What
in NCC land.
NCC.
Yeah.
Like me. Sweet.
Yep. And I was also in the track and field. So we pretty busy with all these. During the whole entire secondary school days. Yeah. So yeah, that was a time where actually because the schools that I was in, there's a lot of gangsters as well. There are fightings, but I've seen all these before. I know how to handle them. So it's nothing new to me. When I was student council, I am basically able to make friends with most of them.
But you were like quote unquote gangster a bit in primary school, right? I mean, don't say lah, but like a bit. Then why didn't you join them in secondary school? I feel.
I guess the time for me is to what can be worse than what I've done in my primary school. Yeah, so I was seeking things to improve, seeking things to change. I never want to be my old self. And I think when I was in secondary school, I saw new opportunity there. Competing is one, where in sports, competing in uniform, going to different schools to compete at the same time, meeting different leaders in other schools is something which I find love in. Yeah, so that was then in secondary school that I had a very good experience nurturing and my character. Yeah, to even further.
Honestly, if it's me, right, if I join a school that is like completely different environment, then I will try to find someone in the same clique, or like I will like be very like, how do I put it? I want to go back to the old ways. It's very hard to change. I think you need to want to change first, then you can change, right? I feel, right?
I think driven for change is something which I see in myself. I don't want to constantly be the same person. I don't want to be constantly doing the same old thing. Yeah, when market change, you got to change, and that's me. For people who know me, I try to change ahead. I try to do something ahead of the change. Yeah.
Okay. Then you say you were doing NCC, track and field, and student counselling. How you manage all this? Yeah, it's like a lot, and you not training spiders anymore. So the money is not there. The pocket money is not there anymore. So how did you do all this?
Okay, so little secret here which I didn't share with anybody. I was also collecting, some bets from those people who buy 4Ds.
Wow!
So I was doing a little bit of all these that time, and that one keeps me a little bit with some pocket money on hand.
Wait, hold on. Bets like
yeah, the 4Ds.
Bets. Okay, got it.
BET. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they basically buy 4D numbers. Basically I would just do a little bit of collection. And hopefully they didn't strike. Well, I don't think I have the opportunity to make any money that time, but I guess I have a pool of saving that time. I can remember, I think I was calculating almost every month in my piggy bank. In my secondary school, I was like having about 35,000 in my bank already that time. Yeah, so basically I no need to know much, those activities, basically keep me good for the throughout the whole secondary school days.
Wait, what? 35,000 in secondary school?
Yeah.
Gerald, you hear that? Not 35,000 in secondary school. Wow, that's a lot. Like just from your own thing. It's not even for like working part time or anything. It's like your own thing lah.
Yes. Wow. Yeah. So basically, I don't spend a lot. My mom cooks at home. Most of the time, we eat at home. Yeah, we are thrifty. We are not spending a lot. That time. Yeah, basically nothing much to spend at the same time.
Jerry, got any question? From the audience, Okay. Johnny Lee. Johnny Lee. Okay, Johnny Lee is my dad, guys. So my dad asked, what is your PSLE results?
It's 183. 183. Yeah, it's 183. Barely enough for me to enter normal stream.
Huh.
Yes.
35,000. I mean, with 183, I don't think it's a bad idea. I think cannot say much. But actually, a lot of people say those cannot study one can do business. What do you think about it?
Well, I have 3 kids now, so I advocate a lot of social connection. Education, I think, is important, but it's not my priority, of course, to make them want to excel highly in their, academics. But I guess it's a lot about the essential life skills that I put across to them. Whether they are in today life here, I'm not too sure, but that's always the day-to-day which I want my kids to grow up with along. Yep.
Yeah, later I ask the others. So you, how, secondary 4 is what year? About there?
1994.
Wow, 35,000 must be a lot, yeah. I'm in shock, wow, that's crazy. You drink water? No need. You talk so much. What's the viewer now? 24. Okay, cool. Thanks for watching, guys. If you guys have any questions at all, like I said, just put in the Q&A. Not Q&A, put where? In the live chat. And then my Gerald, my co-founder, will help me to pass the questions lah, so we can interact with you live. Yeah. Okay, let's get back to it. So in secondary school, there was year 3, year 4. Then what's your O-level result actually?
O-level results, there's no aggregates. Basically, okay enough to go into poly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so went to tertiary thereafter. Into building courses, building courses in Singapore Poly.
Building courses?
Meaning civil and building,
civil engineering, something like that.
Civil and structure building courses, yeah.
But you did 5 years, right? In secondary school?
In secondary school, I did 5 years. That was a normal academic. Yeah, so I did 5 years and subsequently, went to poly to do another 3 years. Yeah.
Oh, can you lower the mic a bit? You can cover your face. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Jiang, is the audio okay?
Audio okay.
Okay, good. I lower a bit more. Okay, can. Okay, cool. So, maybe you share secondary school. You want to share anything else about secondary school? Any cool thing? Any cool stories you can remember that you think the audience will find interesting?
I guess track and field and NCC. That gave me a lot of, again, opportunity to grow my leadership skill. The time NCC, I was CSM in a company, handling all the cadets, providing training, and dealing with, again, people, represent schools for trips, planning schedules for my teacher. So that was the uniform, the stage. That one gave me a lot of experience, and honestly, together with all the different leaders in other schools. We have schools like RGS, RI, bright students. We mingle with them. Some are scholars today, and in the army. In the track and field, of course, it's another. I'm in the middle distance. What do you call that? There are short distance and middle distance. So I actually excel more in the middle distance. So that was the time I actually represent schools doing cross country at the same time, middle to long distance running. Training is something which I find amused why I'm able to juggle all the 3 CCA together at the same time, putting studies together and training almost 3 times a week.
Exactly.
NCC, I'm taking up we wake up almost at 5 a.m. in the morning on a Saturday and school around close to 3 p.m. And if you would ask me, I don't know why I do that, but the discipline actually in track and field, put me in a good state.
Yeah. But like okay, I don't know your 1990 secondary school, but can you tell me how many CCA usually is like one person have in last the time?
Averagely, I think it's one. Averagely is one. Yeah. So, two, yes, I come across. We have three. Three are usually a few of them. Yeah, a few of them. So as I told you earlier, I study people. I want to learn how they are able to manage so many things, at one time. So I'm observant. I like to see how they do it. I copy, I improvise, I then innovate. Yeah, so that's how I grow, from a non-textbook kind of context. Yeah.
Well, actually, you have a very clear. You very clearly remember what primary school and secondary school is like. You like very objectively know what you're doing. I feel. Is it?
Yeah, probably it's in me. Maybe I carry this gene from my mom and dad.
What your mom and dad?
My mom actually runs helping my uncle run business. I always follow her. In the past we went to we basically set up stores in the wet market. So meeting up with people and everybody call her name. I learned a lot together with my brother, my younger brother. We went to market and sell things, and I remember very vividly is that she has the steel of guts to do a lot of things. Honestly, the guts I probably got today, most of it came from her. So that time I was selling some of the items on the store, right, without any license, meaning illegal hawking.
Okay.
Yeah. So
now okay to share lah. Okay.
Sorry, do a little bit on that. Then,
yes, it's okay.
So the officer came to me. I didn't know that one is Daegu. Yeah, Daegu is at the time is NEA officer who wear shorts. They were looking at me and my brother. They said, "Ati, then I做什么? Uncle, I buy my." So the uncle said, "What's it Daegu?" I said, "What is Daegu?" My mom was a bit far away. Everybody is shouting, "Daegu lai lo, Daegu lai lo." Yeah. Then we start to realize, okay, Daegu, it is an officer, all right, from NEA, right, trying to catch illegal hawking. Yeah. But given our age, the uncle was, give us opportunity lah, right? So we got away, and I guess you asked me earlier about how I can remember things. I can remember especially physical thing like face, right? Face. If someone were to come to me and in front of me there are probably 10 people walking past, I can roughly, picture out just now the guy in blue, is he wearing specs? The guy in white, is he carrying a bag? Yeah, so that childhood probably honed my skill, to today. Of course, given age, I start to lose this.
All this because
skills.
of the Daegu.
Yeah, because Daegu.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. People, I think, this one, which I often acquaint with that time together with my brother and my mom. Yeah.
So you have like a picture, what is it called, a photographic memory or something like that. Do you feel?
Not exactly good in that, but I would say probably about 6 out of 10, that kind of thing for me.
It's quite good already. 6 out of 10. Wow. And then starting should be very easy for you. You just see the textbook. I mean,
no, words is terrible for me.
Okay.
Numerals and words, memorizing is something which I don't think I'm good in.
Okay.
So when I put in memorizing, often what I try to do is I will look for, okay, there is a number 9 behind this door, and when I open up this door, there is a gate. Gate is number 8, and that's how I remember things, and that gives me opportunity for me to recall, things that I usually will forget.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm very curious about your mom being very, what's it called? Tatan.
Yeah.
Can you share a bit
gutsy.
like an example? that you saw?
I saw in her, I guess it's not just one episode, like it's a lot episode. One episode that was still remain with me, I think it is the neighbor. There is a neighbor that was staying, I think, on the upper floor, and often she come and bully my mom. And I remember my mom was being bullied by her, but then being small size, my mom was able to fend for herself and able to put the fight, off. So I guess that the one I think gave me a lot of attention to that little incident, that how we should fight for ourselves, how should we protect ourselves.
Wait, physical
Right.
altercation?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that time in the 90s, honestly, physical abuse, fight, all these are pretty normal, honestly. You've seen a lot of all this, in action.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Actually, got somebody bully my mother before. The neighbor on top. If you're watching or you watch, no, I'm just kidding. But like, very annoying. Then I think one time, like, I think she scolded my mom or something like that. Then after I went upstairs, then I like knocked on the door. Then after that, I forgot what I said. I think I was still young lah. But then I think I got scolded her a little bit. But I can't really remember very clearly. But I was not happy lah. Walao, like she keep doing things to my parents and stuff. I'm a bit annoyed. But then after that, I grew up already. She keep quiet already lah. Yeah, like cause she know I can, do things lah, I guess. But that's another story. But yes, okay. So your mom is very brave, and then you probably took it from your mom, like you told me just now, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we moved from secondary school, then maybe go to like the poly stage of life. How was it like in poly? And
Again, the competitive me, and a person that like to challenge the tall orders. In poly, that's where I met my current wife. That's my first girlfriend. I was doing a lot of running the time because I was competing with the school team. We formed a team to compete with the school team, and these are people from who are participating in that competition. Basically, was one of my ex secondary school friend. He said, let's form a team. Let's try to compete against the best athlete in poly. So we formed a team. We got one of the best athlete at the time, was Jocelyn Yeo's brother, Gerard Yeo. He was a triathlete. We got him on board. We got a couple of them and that was the time I think we did our own training ourselves. And every year we look forward to that particular Poly 50. There is a competition in that school. It's a tradition that has been running for so many years.
Poly 50.
Poly 50.
I think that's called Poly or something.
POLY. Yeah, 50. So intervarsity, all these they will some come in to compete. Basically made out of 7 boys and 3 girls.
Okay.
Running the circuit 50 rounds.
50 rounds?
Yeah, 50
Oh,
rounds.
so it's called Poly 50 because 50 rounds?
50 rounds.
Oh.
Yeah,
Sorry,
so
can clarify what Poly?
Sorry?
Which Poly?
Singapore Poly.
Singapore Poly.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah. So that time I was actually busy keeping training, doing that, of course. And then that time I think my wife, Elaine, happened to be sitting inside the classroom. I was late. I came out to her. Anyone sitting there? Then I sat beside her. After we know each other, she said she changed me completely because she said study is so important. If you don't study, where are you going to do next time? Where are you going to? And that was the time I think I revisited the whole 10 over years what I've been doing, right? And finally I then start to study, right? And my grades got better, and then somehow rather I also did better to gain the admission into the local universities in US. So I gave a lot of much thanks to Elaine, my wife, and she transformed me, during that stage. So I guess poly is a very short 3 years, but there's also a few of my classmates that time was doing double diploma. I'm also taking up flying courses in the youth flying club. That time I was like meeting a lot of all these different students in different faculty, in different life. And then I start to rethink, hey, I wasted extra 1 year in primary school. I wasted extra 1 year in secondary school. Poly, I wasted extra 1 more year because if I were to go JC, it's about 2 years. So all in all, I wasted 3 years doing the whole thing from primary all the way to poly. And then when I still had to serve NS for 2.5 years, total, I said, how can I cut short these 2.5 years, so that I can go out to the society to start working, to make money, and then start doing what I would love to do. And then I saw this gentleman, he was taking double degree. He has a motor car license, he has a motorbike license, he has a plane license, boat license. I said, yeah, I have to take all this. And then I took out all this, except for plane license. I couldn't get the license. So that time, I think he inspired me. One thing is that I asked him, why do you want to take up a flying license? He said, I'm learning double diploma. At the same time, I'm also learning trading, stock trading.
Okay.
And basically, this license in flying allows me to fly to everywhere in the world. At the same time, doing trading at the comfort of his place.
Okay.
Right. So that gave me a lot of attention. Again, I then start to rethink how I'm going to do for my next phase of life. And the calling came. I unfortunately or fortunately, I had a bike accident while I'm taking a motor license. I had a bike accident. I punctured my left lung, and that led me to I can't do any sports at the moment. I was telling myself that was my 3rd year. I was intending to go into flying that time, but then with this punctured lung, I'm unable to do so. And God's will gave me a NS letter, sent me to police. So as a police, I said, hey, police, NS seems to be a bit more sian. I better don't declare my PES status.
Right.
At the time, I was still under PES A, physically fit with a punctured lung.
What?
Not known to any medical doctor.
How? Why?
I didn't
How?
declare. Because
But you don't need to go hospital. What?
Oh, that was in the 3rd year of my poly.
Oh.
Yeah. So after having this medical condition, I didn't declare it during my medical examination.
But it will be in the hospital records and stuff, no?
But then during the NS, yeah, they didn't check.
Okay.
Yeah. So when the letter came, it was police. I said, okay lah, police more sian lang, nothing much to do to siong about. So I just went in. Again, in the police, I did a lot of challenges to myself. I want to be the best cadet inside. I was cheering all the way, and on that moment, I think I collapsed. I collapsed, and they sent me into A&E, and then they found me with a punctured lung. Then they downgrade all the way to C9.
Wait, sorry.
Yeah, so-
can I ask, what specifically in police do you do during the chiong?
Oh, I was in the that
BMT,
time was
yeah?
in the BMT.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
that was
okay.
in BMT.
Then
so
you only had one lung or something, or what?
we have a pair of lung. So the left lung actually has already regained its size. It's just that I have a metal clip that's clipping the bubble inside. Lungs a bit of bubbles
Oh, then you collapsed because
because of the activity,
too
exhausted, and then I think the lung probably shout out. Then that was the time I think I collapsed.
Okay.
I didn't know, but I guess I went to a semi state of coma that time. Yeah, a short coma.
Like a few weeks.
No lah, it's a few minutes.
Okay, few minutes. Okay,
a few minutes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, then you can continue.
PES C9 came, and I guess the vocation that I was tasked that time, I think it was not any command post, not doing any outdoor anymore. The calling came, I think the manpower division that time under the recruitment department are looking for a cadet. So I happened to be chanced upon this vocation. I went in, and fortunately, that time I was given a good opportunity to meet up with this ma'am, another mentor of my life.
Okay.
She taught me how to basically manage human beings.
But you're really good at that though.
Another level.
Another level.
Another level. Managing human beings in the uniform service. So those people with high-ranking officers, those people with ranks, when you are low rank, of course, it's very hard to say no to the upper-ranking officers. Yeah, so I learned a lot from her then.
How to say no to them, to the high rank officer?
The details, I think, it's about a lot about power, a lot about authority at that time. Yeah, so the calling came. That's where then I start to powder. That time it was my, I think, 6 months into my NS. The calling came. I said, what am I going to do with these 2 years left in the NS? Am I going to just finish this NS and then start studying? So I then start to apply into NUS part-time in the School of Building and Design during NS. And of course they require part-time. Of course they require work experience, and that's the time I think I don't have many experience, honestly, with relatively good poly grades. I start to apply, and this course director, I remember, spoke to me. He said, Ken Guang, you are not eligible for this part-time because we are looking for someone with industrial experience. Yeah, we are looking for, it's a 4 years course, so I don't think you have that experience to able to contribute into the class settings, which all are part-timers, working adults. I never gave up. I approached help from someone, who I met during my internship at Semcorp. He's my mentor until today, and he's my good friend, Dr. Ting. I asked him to write a good proposal and testimony for me. Okay. He wrote. That time I think he was handling and or assisting him as a contract manager for this building of industrial property for 207 million in 1995.
So wait, sorry, I'm so confused. Yeah. Like this is like internship or
internship? Yeah.
So poly got it.
The only testimony I can get would be this, because this is one of the largest project that he undertook, and I was like helping him most of the time. So we are pretty close. So he write a good testimonial, allow me to put up to the course director again in NUS. Then he got me a vacancy, in the part-time. So that started my part-time in NUS while serving the NS. And my 2 years was actually cut short, and left 2 years, for me to continue in these studies.
Sorry, don't mind I cut you. I mean, you were sharing like a very good story. I didn't want to cut you off, but I'm so confused. Like, I don't think now it's possible to do NS and uni at the same time, right?
When things are new, I guess it takes a lot of opportunity for you to apply something, because it is not cemented, it's not regulated. things can be discussed.
Got it.
The intake that time was, I remember, I think it's about close to 40 to 50, students at time. It was a second intake. I took an opportunity to go in early. If it were to be a 6 intake or the 10 intake, which is a 10-year, I don't think I stand any chance.
Why?
Because they could be looking at with someone with more industrial knowledge or experience, taking up the part-time course.
What's this course name? Do you remember?
This is in the School of Design and Environment in NUS. Is building and construction. Yep.
How do you know that you want to do how do you know you want to do this course in poly and in
poly?
uni also?
In poly I'm already doing building,
why you
civil and
chose
building.
that? Yeah.
And of course, poly you have a sound of knowledge. I did fairly well in designing and doing building services. I like the design and acoustic, how I build services, how I plan the services in a building. So that is my, I don't know I'm right, but I guess I have, I like this course a lot.
Passion a bit lah.
So naturally in uni I continue to pursue this course. Yeah.
Then I also wanted to ask if Elaine, right, you told me one of the changing points when she told you to study harder, right? If she never tell you to study harder, right, would you have been where you are at right now?
I guess I'm fortunate to meet a lot of people that give me right advice. Okay. And I like to listen to good advice, right? So with all these changes, I guess, even she doesn't probably come into my life, I may have met someone that may give me other opinion in life that maybe have charted me differently. Yeah. So I guess the opportunity to meet her inspired me to study harder.
But she know your history and she know your history, right, when she tell you to study harder.
Yes.
So you know how to make money already and stuff. So but she still want you to study harder.
Well, at that time I think a lot of people actually in our classes are going after academics. Yeah. We have classmates who get straight A's, who are in the dean list, and these are the people that we look up to, of course, right?
Okay.
And they are very bright. Basically don't need to study that much. They are able to go, get good grades. But for people like us, I think, like me, I got to put in a lot of effort to get the grades right. Yeah. So working hard is essential for me, I think.
Okay. Actually, what do you think about this phrase work smart, don't work hard?
In the era that I was in, or I guess working hard is equally important.
Okay.
That time, because out of 10 people that I knew and we still remain in contact, 9 wasn't studying hard that time. Out of these 9, about 6 to 7, I would say about almost 70-80% of them are in business now. They are successful. Oh. Right. I have few friends who study really hard that time. They are very bright. Today they are 9 to 5 job. Not that they are not successful, they are still successful, but do you love doing what you're doing at the time? So if you're going to move to today's context, working hard, I think now it's about working smart, knowing the right people. And knowing right people, of course, it helps you to cut short a lot of things, right?
Your network is your net worth.
Yeah, you're right. Net worth is our net worth. Yeah, in our the chapter that we learned this, you know.
Oh. Okay. Hey Jerry, is there any question, by the way? You can just pop in when you need to. Wow, so many texts. Which one I read? Oh, okay, got. This guy asked some unhinged question, bro. Okay. So one of the guests asked, I think it's Raymond. Shout out Raymond. How does your life experience impact the way you live life and raise your children? We will get to this later, but you can just give a brief.
I think the experience that I'm exposed to gave me a lot of influenced me the way how I guide my children, how I teach my children, how I like to rough them, right? I don't give them a textbook kind of question. I like to give them scenario. I throw certain life situation at home on purpose. Example, last night, knowing that the toothbrush is already that short, the brush, knowing that my elder son would not change his toothbrush, by the way, before that, I actually placed the 3 toothbrush at the pantry. I said, it's time for you all to change toothbrush, right? So every time they go to the pantry to take water, the toothbrush are there. For 3 days already, the toothbrush have not even changed. And last night, I took an opportunity, took the toothbrush that is short, I put it near to the WC, water closet. I told my little one, tell Koko that Papa used this toothbrush to clean the WC. Whether he will change or not, I use this scenario to make him change. I wouldn't say, Louis, go and change that toothbrush of yours. I'll use scenario to help to do that. And that's where I learned, all right? And you learn smarter way, you learn the hard way, you remember it for life, and you carry on, for the rest of your life. Yeah.
Also, you specially, I guess, curate how your children learn things in that sense.
Yes.
You really think about something like that. It's not like just let it naturally come. It's just you really, you make it happen I guess.
So, institution learning and the way how I say you do this, you do that is used to do, but I don't do it on my kids now because the technology, the world has changed. I guess we also have to change how we educate the kids now, how we nurture them, how we want them to grow to be a better person. Yep.
I see. Okay. Then there's another person who asked, what triggered you to pursue a career which is different from what you studied?
The opportunity was in the police force. Yeah, that was a time when I was doing crime pattern analysis job, handling the housebreakers, handling second major crimes in Singapore, basically. I did 3 years there. Learned a lot of how criminal works, how criminal think, why they commit this, and how we actually apprehend them, putting them out of the public, so that no one gets harmed. So that criminal touch in me pulled me readily to do something which I want to better use it, that is business. And coming to this point, why I eventually go into this business, I was all along wanting to do business. Prior to my first sales job, I was looking at 3 basic business at time. So childcare was one, recycling business was second, third was the IKEA hot dog at that time. Yeah, so these 3 businesses was something which I wanted to do, but eventually I gave up because the capital outlay was too much. Minimum, I think it was about 30,000. The maximum that time to run the recycling business, easily about close to about 100K. I didn't have guts to do that because that would wipe my savings completely out. Yeah, so eventually I went to a sales job, and that's where I meet a lot of sales people in the commercial vehicle trading business, where business owners are my customers, business owners are my friends. I learn directly from them how they run the business, how they can grow the business, why the business are stagnant. So they give me a lot of insights into another level of life.
How do you, okay, I heard you rejected like a few times for the sales job, a couple of times for the sales job, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, can you share about that one?
So basically, that time, my friend approached me. He said, why don't you come and join me doing sales in this vehicle trading business? Back in my mind, I think doing a car salesman was never in me, because it's unglamorous, number one, being a car salesman. Number two, of course, you have a degree on hand, you're expecting to do something much more glamorous. You want to do something which can be better used to the community. But there again, I think he persuaded me a few times. The turning point came because I lost the whole entire life savings, in a gambling game.
Wow.
Yeah, so that completely wiped out the whole savings. I don't think I have the guts to go into a 9-to-5 job at the time. So the calling came. He approached me, I think the 6th or 7th times. He said, why don't you start this? I said, wait, let me understand your company further. I'm going to do a research. The company at the time was second largest in Singapore. Of course, being second, you want to be the first. So I think that one was my target. Not the first, but the second. I went in, I looked at the whole entire platform. It's full of commercial vehicles. That time, they have a 2 football field size land full of commercial vehicles. I said to me, commercial vehicles will be used largely by Singapore business owners, from undertaker all the way to recycling business. There's a time where all the business owners will want to buy from. So that's where I challenged myself. I told myself I give myself 3 months to do this job. I quit my job in police and I went in. I never regret thereafter. My first, second month and third month, I was like making decent enough, above more than the normal graduate pay.
Sorry, this was after you graduated from uni already, correct?
Yes.
And then after uni, you're doing the criminal job that you shared about, right?
In between.
Yes. So you just continued
That's
basically
right,
in that sense. Then after that, you quit the criminal job.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I ask about the life-saving thing or no?
Can I ask? Why not?
Can I ask like what happened?
Okay, so that was an online betting, gambling,
Okay.
on soccer betting. Yeah. So that was the World Cup. That was the time where I think it does happen overnight. It happens over a course of years, right? Scrambling all the savings into soccer betting. Yeah. So at that verge of time, I think losing 5,000, 10,000 isn't much. But that very game, I think, lost almost close to 100K.
Wow.
That single game. Yeah. So that gave me a shock to how I'm able to press a button without blinking an eye, and then losing that money. Yeah. So that was the time I think I start to rethink how gambling can change a person's life. Yeah, whether catastrophic or become better, So I guess most of the gamblers come to no end,
Were you married back this time?
That time I wasn't married, yeah.
So no kids, haven't yet lah?
No kids, no married. Well, my Elaine was.
Yeah, I want to know her reaction.
Of course, she's furious, lah. She gave me. We had an agreement.
Okay.
We had an agreement. By the time if we get married and you don't have the capacity to pay for the wedding, and you follow her surname.
Wow.
So that was
Believe,
1 year before we got married. Exactly 1 year before I got married.
Oh.
Yeah. So 2006, I started this sales job. Yeah. 2007, I earned enough money to get married. Yeah.
So already planned, book the venue, everything already
Along
planned.
the way. But given the circumstances, I know I can start to make back what I have lost.
Oh, you did it.
Yeah.
How much was the life saving back then around?
No, basically it's deficit.
It's just gone already.
Yeah, it's gone, and you otang the basically the yeah.
Wow.
The
I mean,
dealer
this is
lah,
the
basically.
past lah. It's what made you who you are today. So I believe.
Yeah, these are the bad habits, but then I guess I'm fortunate enough to do all these when I was young. Imagine I were to start doing all these and go into all these bad habits when I'm age 35, age 40. I guess in life it's very hard for me to pick it up. And where do we have another 10 more years ahead of you? Right? So I'm fortunate enough, I guess, at the age of 25, 26, I had a good share of experience doing what most people have never done before. Yep.
Well, something I learned from you is that you like to do things very early. Like primary school, you become naughty first. Then secondary school, you chill out. Then when you play the gambling thing like early, then now you stop already. So it's like you do things like very early when other people usually do it later, which is interesting lah.
Fortunate or unfortunately, got a fair share of experience.
Okay, thanks for sharing the gambling thing. It's good to know lah, cause like I mean, I feel like everybody got like the past lah that nobody talks about that shape who you are today, you know, that like give you the learning lesson, and then you're like, oh, you shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that. I feel like it subtly affects how you run business also, like in a day-to-day life. But yeah,
Yes.
maybe you can move forward to what thing? I just say what's up.
Someone asked, does any of your children show interest in business also?
Oh, let me repeat. Does any of your children show interest in business?
Profiling of the 3 kids, I profile the last one as a potential successor.
I know who is he actually.
Yeah, given the characteristic, personality, I guess he take up a fair bit of mine. Yeah, naughty. I won't stop. I'll ask him to be naughty the way he wants to be, right? But of course, I will just provide enough guidance along the way. Yeah.
How old is he now?
10.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Is getting there?
Getting there to what?
To primary school, $35,000.
Does he have $35,000 in the bank
No.
account?
I guess the kids today generally not hungry. Yeah, not hungry. They have most of the resources at home.
I wasn't like this in primary school lah, so yeah. How many viewers actually now?
16.
Wow, still going strong. So like, okay. Yeah, I think you can share about. Actually, I was very curious. I wanted to ask you halfway during the thing. You said like, how do I put it? Like, are they enjoying what they're doing now? Those people working a 9 to 5 job, right? So do you feel like everybody should go into business? Since like, yeah.
I think it's good to understand your own character, right? Whether you are a salesman or you are accountant or you are handyman. All of these has opportunity to do something on your own, right? Some people can lead. Some people like to be lead. Some people just want to be individual. Some can be a team player, right? So you got to understand, well, the different aspects of that individual, right? Putting them together, or they can they work alone or can they work as a team? Yeah, so I guess the answer that I don't have answer for this, but when we're able to do one-to-one with that person, we are able to develop what sort of strength and weakness, and they can do for themselves.
Because it's quite ironic you say like those who did well are doing like something that they don't like, and those who didn't do well are doing something that they like, which is like the...
I guess the guts is something which I don't know whether I'm right to say this, but generally for people that study or in study good in, I mean, has gone through a lot of studies. I generally feel they don't have, probably they calculate a little bit more before they do things, and that's where they slow down in terms of executing. While people who don't really study much in life, they have a lot of experience. I guess they do first before they calculate. So that's the thing where they do first, they are fast enough to execute the move compared with someone that they calculate more. Yep. So I guess the main difference I weigh between people who don't study that much versus someone that has gone through a lot of studies, academically, they tend to have a difference in this execution.
But that's the importance of having a co-founder, do you feel? So one person can be calculative,
Yes.
then one person can be...
often the case. Yep.
Do you have a co-founder when you first started?
I was working with a leader.
With a leader?
Yeah,
Okay,
I guess the leader provide good support, a lot of life experience and people management skill, which I never learned in all my journey that time.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, so managing easily close to about 30 salesmen, 20 brokers, close to about 100 people under him. He is my textbook. I learned a lot from him.
Then maybe we can circle back to that part of the story, the business part.
Yeah, so trading business in commercial vehicle, I was doing 10 years over there.
Okay.
Subsequently, I left the company, and
The sales job, right? You're talking about.
sales job. Yeah, sales job. After I left, I went into an auction. I started to move into a startup. I got someone from Australia to come in to be a co-founder. He is an architect for the system. He's a system architect basically. So he's my neighbor's brother. I got him from Australia. He came and sat down with me and write down all my ideas. So that time we were doing this auction platform.
Okay.
The digital auction platform where we buy and sell commercial vehicles through auction or online. So I assemble a whole team of people, programmers, co-founders, and a team of salesperson as well to do this business. Initially was not bad, but then we realized that it's a little bit too early because the market wasn't matured at that time. Even LTA that we spoke to, their backend team wasn't ready for all the solution at the time. Yeah. So the execution part, I think we had a lot of we slow us down in terms of execution before we go out to the market.
You were targeting the Singapore market or
We were
international?
targeting the Singapore market at the same time, the Myanmar market as well.
So it's like a tech startup, you would say,
Yes.
like a software.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then how's the capital funds? Do you need any capital to start this or anything?
Yes, I pour in about close to 700,000 at the time, with another investors pump in another close to 200,000. that was about close to about $1 million, all in all. So we were doing that auction platform.
You know, get government grant, which is
That time I think it was a little bit matured to start this. That time, if you know about Carousel was a marketplace for other things, but not vehicles. That time, we already start doing auctioning for commercial vehicles. Yeah, there was come at the time doing private cars, but not into commercial vehicles.
I see. So you saw a market gap line in that sense.
Yes.
When you were doing sales for commercial vehicles.
That's right.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we start doing that, and eventually, one of the big boys came on board, GoBell. They interested to invest $1 million into this business, and that's where the joint venture of the digital, and as well as the trading, traditional trading, commercial vehicle business starts to form in place. That's where we start to move towards to the western part of Singapore, the Tuas area.
Could you break down for me, like, what do you need the money for actually? Because, like, your team is your co-founder and you and the developers in that sense, right? Was the money mainly just to pay the salary of the developers, or how did it work?
Okay, the development of the software wasn't that much. Yeah, that time wasn't that much. But I guess when we are doing auctioning of vehicles, we need cold cash to buy in the vehicles. Then we start to auction.
Okay.
So the model behind it, why a lot of auction cannot take place, in a fast manner, is because they do consignment. They get a product from someone which they don't own. They auction it off, hopefully there's a buyer for it.
It's like a middleman.
Yeah. So the platform becomes a middleman count transaction. Right. But for ours, if we were to sell, I will buy it straight away. Even if the auction fails, I will guarantee them a buyback.
Also, you were planning to have the vehicles yourself, you hold the vehicles.
Yes.
You didn't want to be like a middleman, in that sense.
No. That was the time that's why we actually moved to Tuas. We have a big, huge yard to hold thousands of commercial vehicles there.
Can I ask, like, why didn't you want to make it because the capital to start is so high, because you need to have a space to hold the vehicles. Why didn't you try something that's lower capital in that sense?
So, and then that comes to the point where eventually, after the joint venture, or during the joint venture, we finally decide which path to go to, whether to take on the traditional path, which is the trading of commercial vehicle business, or a digital path, which is the online trading. The agreement was that let's focus on traditional, right? And digitally, you can start up anytime you want. Since we have the people, we have the knowledge, we can start at any time.
I see.
So we shelve it. We focus all our attention to traditional, business, which is the company called Bell Auto.
Bell Auto.
Yeah.
Share me a little bit about Bell Auto and what it's about. Yeah.
I guess the joint venture into this company gave me a lot of understanding of how corporate works. Company is huge, big, structured, with 800 over staff. I guess the tremendous pressure to perform inside. Tremendous pressure from the public as well. Since joint venture is the biggest player in Singapore, gave me a lot of pressure to do well, right? And no one has gone to the western part of Singapore to be successful. So far, none. People who gone there, they closed down, and that's the time I think we wanted to go to west to do big trucks.
Hold on, let me pause here. This is something that I was curious about. Can you help me share the audience why the location matters for running a commercial vehicle business? Just a quick...
Commercial vehicle business break down into small, medium, and big. Small and medium basically are a product that is up to a 10-foot size. All right. So if you're talking about that kind of space you require, you can hold a lot of vehicles in a small car park lot. So a small light-sized vehicle, if you're going to operate somewhere in the western part, I don't think people want to travel to find or to buy a vehicle so far away. So you generally people come to the central, come to a convenient location, like the Kaki Bukit, like Xingming, centrally located, they will usually buy. Big trucks, different ball game. Big truck require infrastructure, buildings, storage, maintenance capabilities. How you got to dismember at the same time assemble all the parts together? That's heavy vehicle business. And in Tuas, you can see when you go to Tuas, there are all the big factories over there, and most of the big factories have big trucks. And there's a time where we realize that there is a market for this. But again, you need to have the know-how, the expertise to get the attention of all the buyers to come to you. And I think partnering with GoBell gave additional value to doing that in a faster manner.
Yeah. So the space matters in a nutshell.
Yes.
Because running a bigger commercial vehicle need bigger space and all that. Got it.
Yes.
Okay. Is there any questions, by the way? Just a quick. Just shout out.
The connections, right? Like your kids. Someone asked, like, will you say passing on your good connections to your kids the most important thing that you can leave
Okay, let me.
your kids lah?
Okay, so the viewer. So who's the name? What's the name?
Unicorn fart.
Okay, Unicorn Fart asks, is the connections they build now and the network they build now, what are you going to pass on to your kids in the future?
Generally, I think most parents want to pass their business down to their children, but I'm not a fan of that.
Oh.
I don't believe in that. I believe in making them grow up, and I think finding their own desire to do something that they want. Platform like this, if you're talking about network or this, you can introduce to them. Whether they find love doing what the parents carry on and provide them, I guess not many children wants to do that. In my own opinion, day-to-day dealing with them, I don't think they like you to tell them, hey, you can do this, you want to do this. But rather, I think I provide that kind of guidance to them. And if the opportunity comes for them to like the business, I will give it to them. But otherwise, I'll be rather give this opportunity to someone. In the book that I read, Robert Kwok, he's a sugar king. The empire that he built for himself and ultimately want to pass down to his children are none other than his daughter, who is running the Shangri-La Hotel, and another business that he is proud of, the Wilmar Group. That one is run by his nephew. So I guess the thing alike here is that I have siblings, I have nephew, I have niece. Some of the characteristic, I guess, certain nephew that I'm seeing in them bear certain similarities to some of our elderly. So in terms of matching their profile to what kind of job they can do, example, if I were to pass the business down, it may not be my children. It could be my nephew, it could be my niece, who is more capable than my children. Yeah.
I'm a nephew. Am I a nephew?
Would
No, I'm
you
just.
be someone you want to pass down?
Yeah, he's my nephew. Why not?
I am. That's what I was thinking the whole time when I said my nephew. My niece. Me.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Any other? Wait, I have two questions.
Really shy, bro.
Hey, don't like that.
Your ups lah, bro.
What's the question? Another question? Anybody else?
Say like, with your achievement, what's like next for you, KJ?
With your let me repeat. With your achievement, what's next for you, KK?
I never stop learning lah. I guess I am still on the lookout for people to meet, right people to connect with, right things to do while we age. I have this good friend of mine, Check. He shared me a lot more things about how we age. So while we age, we need good companion. We don't need a lot of junk food anymore. We need quality food. We need quality friends. We need quality time. And that's how we live life gracefully and age well towards the end of our shelf life. So I guess I'm seeking for this thing in life now. Constantly I'm sharing with my friends whom I met, sharing with them how life can be better, if you do something differently as what you are doing now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like health and it's not important to you to build a business anymore, you say?
It's important, but I constantly, when I meet business owners to buy vehicles or sell vehicles or do anything that get connection with me, I'll go a little bit deeper about asking why they are doing this now. Today market is a little bit different. Why they want to do this is something which I also want to prevent them, falling into the pitfall.
Right.
So this is something which I want to channel myself and give some advice to the fellow business owners whom we met for the first time, who are buying vehicles from me, and I just want them to do well in the business they are doing. Because many people who come to buy vehicles, some are impulsive. Some just feel that I want to do something which my friend and I discuss and we want to do this, but they never go in depth into the business opportunity, whether there are potential threats coming in, whether it's scalable, whether there's enough financial capabilities for them to grow further. So I often, giving guidance and advice to business friends that I meet. Yeah. And I guess if you would ask me the same question, I'm doing that most of the time now. Yep.
Yeah, you actually do it to me on Chinese New Year. Always, you ask me stuff, then you give me some advice. Yeah, cool. Is there any other question, Jared?
When do you think is the best time for your retirement?
When?
Are you looking at retirement?
Actually, we even get to the goal, the peak of the bell though, man. But yeah, you can maybe give a brief answer. Are you looking for when's retirement for you?
No retirement for me.
You like the hustle.
Yeah, I like the hustle and bustle of the life. Never get bored. You keep finding things to do. You keep finding you're engaged in for yourself, right? Yep.
How many viewers are there now, Gerald?
17.
Okay. Oh, still going strong. Okay, cool. So no more. Any other question?
Unicorn Fund asked again, what career do you see your older son going down since you're not passing down your business?
A little unicorn fund is your son.
I think.
So unicorn fund asks, what? Sorry again.
If you're not passing down your business, right, to your sons, like what are the career paths suitable for your older son? Like specifically older son.
For now, if I look at him as after knowing him, I guess he is gearing more towards the 8 to 5 job. He is someone that I feel he wants to play a supporting role for business owners, for people, right? Like to be lead, then take on the lead.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'd like to be led in that sense. Okay. But you're okay with that in that sense, like you told me just now, right? It's like you want to let them choose their own path.
Why not?
You don't want
Yeah, definitely.
So it's okay.
Yeah.
No more question? Okay, cool. Okay, so let's get back into we were talking about Bell Auto and how you're building Bell Auto. Can you just quickly share the audience, like, what is your role at Bell Auto actually?
Oh, I was a director in Bell Auto, managing this used trading commercial vehicle arm for GoBell.
Okay.
Right. So that time we started off with a couple of salesperson, no admin that time. So I guess it gave me a lot of opportunity to recruit new people, new players into the company. And new players means new culture. And when you teach them something, when you introduce them something, they are all new. It's teachable. And that's where I think when we set certain standard, we set certain guidelines, we teach them how to run the business together. It is much more easier than, a whole lot easier I would say, than having an experienced player, in that company, right? So when you start a business, some people buy over a company. When they start a business, they tend to take on some of the experienced player over. I guess for Bell Auto, generally I think almost close to 80% of the people are new.
New
So,
in terms, in a sense, like
in terms of they have never worked in the commercial vehicle business before, whether it's accountant, whether it's salesman, whether it's purchaser.
Oh, well, that's an interesting thing.
So that time it was only about 20% of sales force was or personnel in the company had that experience. So the influence over new people was minimized a lot. Yeah, so we are able to introduce a lot of new culture into the environment that time, much more easier.
You were the main expert, I would say, right, in the whole game. So I guess you were the mentor guiding everybody about the commercial vehicle business, how they should be done, how they should be done.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Then can you break down to me from like year 1 to like year 5, like roughly brief down how do you build from year 1 to year 5?
Well, I think for the first year, we did a lot of light vehicles, vans and small trucks, lorries, all this. So generally, I think for that, as I said, the west side is very hard for people to come all the way there. If you were to, in the east, imagine Tampines going all the way to Tuas in 45 minutes just to see a van, and then you realize that the van is not compatible for business, then you start to shift your attention to somewhere in the center. So light vehicles, hard to move that time. Yeah, so we generally have a little bit of difficulties selling light vehicles. But then as we progress, year 2, year 3, and then the another opportunity was the COVID. COVID was a crisis to many people, but it was an opportunity for Bell Auto. Having a West, have building of our own. The first thing that I transformed the whole team was digital transformation. We were doing basically pre-recorded or live introduction of vehicles using platform like Facebook, like Instagram. So we are doing that at the time during the COVID.
Like marketing, like
Yes,
that, like how
we're doing
property
marketing.
agent film video.
Correct. So we're like, giving a lot of opportunity to all these people who want to do selling of vehicles differently, not physically but online.
Was anybody doing this in the market?
No, that time no.
So you're the
again, we started off with this, on the right note. Everybody started to know about, hey, this company is doing trucks, big trucks, especially heavy vehicles. So I guess that one really gave us a lot of opportunity at that time. After the COVID, people started to know us. We are selling heavy vehicles, we are selling heavy buses, medium class trucks. And that was the time I think the first entry into the game was the EV market. Electric vehicles start to come into Singapore and enter the commercial vehicle scene. And we also took the opportunity to also sell EVs and promote the EVs. Being savvy in the online marketplace, with the sales force, almost half of them are educated, diploma to some of the degree, local universities. They can basically articulate well. They can able to do a lot more better online, right, than I would say most people.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you mean by better online? Like in-person sales or what?
I guess if there are a couple of people that I still remember, they are generally the literacy level I think is there, so they are able to explain a little bit of technical details about how EV works. So when you're talking about electric vehicle, you're no longer talking about the brand itself anymore. You're talking about the aspects, the specifications, the motor power, the inverter, the converter, and how the battery is being charged. And all this requires some technical skill sets. And my team's able to put it across pretty well to the community at the time.
What brand actually last time, the EV?
The time the initial one was the Renault Kangoo Z model.
Okay.
Followed by the hotly product, the BYD T3.
BYD.
And gradually some other models start to fall in place. Yeah, but we want to move ahead of most people. That's why I think we started with these two.
Which year was this in Bell Auto?
After COVID, it was 2020, 2021.
2021.
2021, 2022.
It's quite recent actually.
Yeah.
Like 3 years back.
That's right.
Yeah, speaking about COVID, how did your company do during COVID?
It's an essential service, by the way.
Yeah, I mean,
we are supposed to still support, because generally we also have a workshop that support the vehicles, in the market. And essential service such as landscaping, tree pruning, garbage, business, recycling business. People who require vehicles, they still have to buy. So these are part of the essential services that we supply our trucks to at the time. Yep.
Then I guess my question for you is like, I think Bell Auto is like the peak of your career. Would you say that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's like the peak of your career, and that's where you really play the big leader, the corporate, the top league, the director roles and all that, and managing a lot of people under you. How did it feel like as a person from growing from like someone who worked at the sales job all the way to now? Like,
of course, along the way, I'm giving opportunity to perform. This is a big platform, right? Imagine going into a board meeting with all the shareholders and stakeholders. You got to explain to them why this business conducted this way. So a lot of experience actually came from that, to how you're going to think strategically, not so short-sighted, but you got to plan really far away. And that, in Bell Auto, I learned to a lot of this, in that environment. So while we plan, we have to also look into executing. All right, the execution is also one process which all the salesperson and as well as the people under you, they know what you are planning, and then they gel together, and then work together to strive towards that goal. Yeah, so that's where I think it helps when a bunch of them are new in the market.
I see. Was it a dream to become this big as a business person, as an entrepreneur?
Never thought of that at the time, but when I start to do the digital platform, I was really thinking of doing something for the community, in Singapore, as an auction platform, where every business owner is empowered to do auctioning of their vehicles using their device.
I see.
Yep.
So you don't need to do a middleman or
That's
anything.
right. Yep.
It's actually like what Carousel is doing now, right?
Carousel auctioning, I guess, so far,
No.
I don't see any.
Okay.
I don't see any. The auction are all closed door auction to the middleman. You basically don't do C2C. my direction objective is, I think, is to do seed and C.
I see.
Yeah. But
Okay.
pre-nominally, I think it's still B2B at the moment.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Then how that, like, can you like maybe share with me like a little bit, because my company is like not the up like you and Bell to up there already. Maybe share a little bit like to me what is it like running a company at that scale, you know?
I think it's the value which you want to find, right, in running a business. What is the okay for I think for me, why I actually feel that this is a good business at that time, and because I find value working with a big player in the market.
Okay.
Right. So for companies who aspire to want to be a growing company, and often you want to find tupor in the business, you have to find that niche. All right. Saying is also simple, but you got to find that niche in that business, that opportunity. So I learned this when I was in my salesmanship back then in Kaki Bukit. I remember there was this professor was teaching about this pyramid thing, right? The 20-80.
Okay.
So the 20% of that pyramid is where most of people want to target.
Okay.
The 80% is where all the profit is the least for the 80%.
Okay.
So that's the general public. Right. So the question here is that out of this 80%, how do you find the 20% again? So the 80% was broken down into smaller little triangle inside.
Oh.
Right. So in the little triangle, there's always that 20%. In that little triangle, you got to have 20%. So every business has that 20%.
So you were trying to find that lah.
You have to find that.
What was it for you?
In the West, no one is there. Heavy vehicle trucks, no one is doing that big. Gobel being the largest, we have most of the arsenal that we need over there. Yep. So vehicles are plenty. Money no problem. Branding no problem. It's just getting the people to trust us, to believe that buying from us, is right. Yep. So it's West versus the rest of the market.
Nice.
Yeah.
Speaking about niche, right? Like, would you feel like, let's say a business comes out, right? They should target the niche first, or they should spread out. Then maybe after 1-2 years, play around, talk to people. Then this is what the customers really want. Then you niche now.
If you're really good in doing that niche, then start doing niche.
Okay.
Right. For example, zi cha tuan. Right. If you start zi cha, zi cha means you can sell Hokkien mee, you can sell char kway teow, you can sell fried noodle, right? Bihun, anything people ask you zi cha, but you're basically a general cook store. But if you are very, very good in preparing your famous chili, then you put that niche into that zi cha tuan. Then people who come to buy all the zi cha, they will always remember, it's the chili that I'm after. I come for the chili.
Okay.
That is the niche. So if you don't have the niche, you start general first. You have to find that 20% of the niche. Once you discover that 20% where people pay high quality value for money product, then that is the niche.
But that could take years until your company like falls down. Like,
You got to move fast with the market. Market change, you move. When you are doing something, you cannot stay there for too long. You really have to keep going nearby to look for opportunity. Yeah. So I learned this as well in one of the classes. 1米宽1000米深还是1000米宽1米深 right? So you want to tap that that the oil from the earth, are you going to bore a 1 meter, a 1,000 meter wide, hole, or you want to bore a 1,000 deep, 1 meter wide hole?
I mean,
So
I would choose. Okay, but yeah.
yeah. So I don't know your answer, but I guess you have it inside you.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know which one will you choose?
1 meter deep. 1,000 meter deep.
Yeah, I also would choose that.
Yeah. And because the answer is because you use the same machinery, infrastructure, the same resources to bore 1,000 holes, right? Eventually you can find that goal.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. I mean, I'm coming from a perspective like I don't really have a business mentor or anything like that, right? So I listen to a lot of podcasts, and like actually that's why I started this also, like, cause I wanted to know like advice from entrepreneurs also.
Yeah.
So I listen to a lot of podcasts, and they say like, you may not see the result in like the first 6 months or the first 8 months. You must like wait. Like business is like a patience game. You must like play it very very long. Then you can see the success. But then what you told me just now is like you, I guess you need to move fast and like faster see which will work for you and all that. So, I guess my question is like, how will you know that that's not working for you? You know what I mean? Like, how will you know like, did I not try this long enough? That's why it didn't work, or it's actually not working. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I think that is the little percentage of the people that has experience, started from since young. What sort of experience hone them, right? They keep honing, their skills, right, to the day where they want to start doing business.
Okay.
So if you are a person that do a lot, example, swimming, you do a lot of swimming, and finally you want to do something else in life, it's not related, no?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So while you're young, try to do a lot more things. Give yourself a lot more opportunity to expose yourself to a lot of danger, a lot of threats, a lot of failure, a lot of mistakes. Then from there, you start to rediscover your weakness, and then you play a much more better role, next time. So back to where you're starting, right? If you had the opportunity to work with someone as a part-time, imagine one person that works 3 part-time in life versus one person that works 20 part-times in life. Who has better experience?
The 20 part-time one.
Yes, the 20 part-time. And when he execute, he probably has, given that all the conditions the same, resources the same, I guess the 20 part-time person is able to deliver better results compared with the person with 3 part-time.
So you're saying like a jack of all trades is better than a master of one trade?
Yeah.
I
But of
see.
course, you still have to think about how to find that 突破, the 尖刀产品, that 20%.
I see.
Yeah.
That's interesting though, because a lot of the podcasts say differently. But yeah, it's an interesting perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like people always say just do one thing and do it the best, and then just keep doing that. Yeah, but I mean,
When you're young, I think, it gives a lot of opportunity to keep doing. But I think in our Singapore context, we study more, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are buried ourselves into books,
Yeah.
academic, achievements. Yeah, little experience, work experience. Yeah.
Yeah, because actually it's like I think I can relate because I mean recently like a lot of people like they will call me and my business partner, then they'll ask to like do business. They want to try new ventures, they want to do this, do that. Then I myself, I'm also not very sure whether I should split my time into that or should I just still focus on what I'm doing right now. I guess that's where I'm at right now lah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Do you have any advice for me? Just curious.
So for me to answer your question, I guess I don't exactly know what you want. Whether you want to, do a business, ultimately. But I guess what you're doing right now, essentially expose yourself to a lot more bigger guys in the market. You know, that I believe after what you've done, right? Today is the second episode, right?
Yeah, second
Yeah.
episode.
So I believe there are more people that will be keen to discover this, and I believe there are more podcasters out there. They are starting to do live, right? So that becomes another competitor out there,
Okay.
and how to collaborate with them, how to do better, whether it be in your platform or will be in their platform. And that's opportunity for you to meet them. Yeah, right. So collaboration is something which I believe is a human cycle. You must always collaborate. You know,
Yes.
we never wish to work alone.
Yes.
Whether it's in harmony or in conflict, you still require people to work with people.
It's network lah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one big thing I learned from my business partner actually.
Yes.
I feel like I was a very solo guy last time. I want to do things myself. It has to be my way or something like that. But then he like opened my eyes like, okay, bro, actually collaborate with him is like get the things done like 80% faster than you would do yourself. Then why wouldn't you do that? But yeah. Okay, sorry. I'm back a bit off track and also a bit out of time. But how many viewers are there now?
9.
Nice. Okay, so maybe we can like a bit wrap up a little bit. Maybe we can go quickly to what you're doing right now. So moving from Bell Auto to EVS, how the transition happened?
So I'm running a small business. The company name is Electric Vehicle Singapore at this Xingming Vicom, right, where we specialize in electric vehicles sales, at the same time conversions. So this company itself is small enough, able to provide cost to cost kind of to business owners who want to look for a new vehicle or an old vehicle, commercial vehicles, by the way. So I guess the situation in Singapore has come to, or rather the business in Singapore now is getting a bit harder. I want to come in to help the business owners to find a quality vehicle, cheaper vehicle. At the same time, when they want to sell vehicle, they can sell at a reasonably better profit. All right. So I'm trying to connect C to C together at the moment, right? So used to be always B to B, but I'm trying to like use this opportunity, you know, in my space here at Vicom to do C to C, connecting customers to customers together. So both sides actually benefit. One sell a little bit higher, one buy cheaper.
Customer,
Yep.
customer, not business lah. Cause like isn't van like a business?
Yeah, but they are direct. They are direct. Yeah,
okay.
we don't go through intermediaries. We don't go through middlemen.
I see. Okay,
Yep.
got it. Then you what happened to Bell Auto? You sold Bell Auto?
Yeah, sold Bell Auto. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like like what do you do after selling a company? I'm sure I don't think you need to work already after you sell Bell Auto, right? Like
No, I guess after selling, I went into. I looked for other opportunity, urban farming, some form of trading as well in agriculture, logistic. Went to a few business and tried to understand all these business, but I guess that isn't for me because first thing, the trading of that business doesn't allow you to earn the money much more comfortably, you know, when you are doing this vehicle business.
Okay.
Right. And eventually I gave up, but I spent a lot more time traveling, right, and meeting up with a new group of friends. So that gives me a lot of insight into how I want to grow and live my life fullest. Yeah.
like how you sold the company what year? 2022?
2021.
2021. And
Yep.
then how many years break do you take before continuing to start EVS?
Almost about 9 months around there.
Oh, 9
Yeah,
months only.
9 months, yeah.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
Was it itchy to like continue?
There are people that I met want me to help them with their business. I met a couple of them, big owners in this vehicle business. Finally, I think I settled down with one small one. right? And then I went into building up and setting up for them. And eventually they're ready. They shifted out of the space. And here today I'm running on a very lean scale, right? And I'm happy doing what I'm doing now, right? For the benefit of customer. Yep.
So why do you not want to build EVS to like an empire like Bell Auto again?
The experience, as I said, I like to move on with the trend in the market.
Got it.
Yep. Things have changed. The market forces are a bit different. People are generally much more complicated now. So I want to handle this business. I want to benefit more on the customer to customer more now.
I see.
Yep.
Yeah, like you've been mentioning a lot, like you want to focus a lot on customer to customer. I see. I mean, I sort of understand why you want to go down to a smaller industry, a smaller company lah, because you say the market changes and all that. Can I ask you? I think I missed this question out when about Bell Auto, right? What is the biggest struggle you face in Bell Auto?
If I were to do it again, I will look for a business partner. At the same time, he's also the investor, right? And he should be the person that runs side by side along with me to run this business together. So that's very important, right? So if you get the wrong people to run the business in a different angle, different direction, then that makes the whole business operation, and that's where the challenge start to fall in.
I see. So
Right.
you choosing the right partner is very important.
That's right.
Do you know how to choose? Do you have any advice on how to choose the right partner?
Dance with him.
Done.
Dance with him.
Dance with
You
him.
got to understand him. You got to. It's just not about a day job. It is about knowing, basically go nail down to profiling. Talk to him, know more about how he know the business. Have that small little experience exchanging business trading, not just talking, but really going down on the ground, and know really, is he the worker or is he the people usually, behind the scene. Yeah, so that's, I guess it's very important to find a partner with that kind of, complement.
Now you don't need partner already lah.
Don't think I need at the moment. Happy doing what I'm doing.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. But I feel like you're more of like a people person, and then probably next, I feel like your partner would be like a more nitty-gritty detail kind of person, a more operation side. I don't know. Just a random guess. Am I right? Am I wrong?
I guess we have our own complementary in that area of expertise the time running Bell Auto. Yeah, so each of us has our own strength. He's also a very good salesperson.
Okay.
He also likes to, engage people. In terms of strategic, I think he's a good person that can think and plan together with me. Yeah, so that's it lah. I guess very much into that. But day-to-day running, it takes a lot of instinct at the same time that acumen, right? To telling whether the product is the right call for you to buy, to sell, what sort of things you should execute, whether it's the right time to execute this, whether it's time to actually cut your profit. Yeah, so that's about the people at that time.
Okay.
Can I take a break for a while?
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay. By the way, guys.
Okay.
Hey, guys. So we're doing a live call right now. Oh yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Little break. Right now, can you cut to my angle? So which camera do I look at? Okay, guys, so right now we're going to be hosting a live call with KK. So those who want to get on live and ask him questions, you guys can go ahead. Did Gerald send the live link already?
Not yet.
Can you help me do? Just create a Google Meets link and send. So yeah, we'll add a Google Meets link, and then you guys can hop on the call. Don't ask like those kind of weird question lah. Ask those kind of like, I mean, you know lah. Just don't ask those kind of weird kind of like insulting question. You know, just ask those maybe more related to how he built his empire and all that. I think this is a really good podcast lah. I feel for me also, and for you guys to learn a lot from KK. And yeah, so I have to yap for like I think 5 minutes. KK is taking a quick break right now. I'm gonna ask him a couple of questions like, if someone wants to start a business now, what will you tell them? And I want to ask KK about his sales advice, because KK is a very, very good salesman. And also right, I was thinking like, does a good salesman mean that you can talk a lot, or does a good salesman mean you can listen to the person? Because like, I feel like the Singapore market is terbalik. Singapore market is like very, because the parents raise you since young to respect your elder, right? So if you're a salesman, I feel like if the salesman can talk more to if the salesman is, I guess, ask less question, talk more, it works better for Singapore. But I don't know. Just what's your opinion on that? Maybe you guys can comment. I also want to ask him like, do you have a different view about money and compared to when you were earning a lot lesser? And also I want to ask him, was it worth it to start a business like that? Hello, welcome
Hi.
back. Jiang, can you throw me a cold water? You sent the Google Meet link already.
Send already.
Where's Gerald? Where's Gerald?
Downstairs?
What is he doing?
Talking to...
Toss. The uncle.
Yeah.
Okay, ending soon already. We just do a live call, then we're done.
There's a live call?
Yeah, I mean, if got somebody join.
Okay.
Send you on
Give me one more water.
WhatsApp.
Thank you. No water. Just toss it. Gerald, the live call, the link sent already, so you just help me manage. We wait for about like 5-6 minutes. If nobody, then we'll wrap.
Thanks.
Is everything okay so far?
Okay.
Tired already?
Okay. Can manage. Just that, wow.
Just now, try to hold it in. Okay, so I guess we'll wait for the questions, right? I have a couple of questions for KK. I think KK shared very good about like Bell Auto, how he was working as like one of the top like working as the top leagues, like one of the bigger players in the game, and how he managed a lot of people, how he built a business that is probably like everybody's dream to be like a very, very big business owner, and why he downscaled to EVS right now, which is a small company. And we also went through a lot about his past childhood. Actually, you did like almost like 1 hour on his childhood and like how he was growing up, because I felt like your childhood shaped who you are right now. Like it's quite good lah. Like your mom is like very teach you to take risks and then all that, and then like how you shift from who's Wei Guang? The live call.
Yeah.
Give me who is Wei Guang? Your friend
Yeah.
Okay. Put that. I don't have. I might have no Wi-Fi. You put your stand here. Okay. Yeah. Let me off the phone. Is Wei Guang here? Whoa. Hey! This is KK. Cut
Hello.
to KK angle.
Wait,
How you want to do the audio for this?
Let me add it into OBS.
Okay. Hello, Wei Guang. Cannot hear
Can you
you.
hear?
Oh, I know. Hello. Eh?
I cannot hear Wei Guang.
Click off the sound, no?
Sorry, give us some time. Because we never do the live call before, we're trying to like figure out. Thanks for joining the live.
Okay, that should work.
Cut to listen.
How
How to hear you?
Okay, the call should be over here. You check.
Got echo here. Off this.
What's not going on?
You went.
Put it here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not left or right,
yeah.
Right.
This is right.
Is it okay?
Can you hear?
Okay.
Hi, Wei Guang. Can't hear.
So can't hear. I can break it.
I
I thought it'd be as easy as like going on a call then just play the.
His audio is not.
Wei
Wei Guang, your audio cannot hear.
I cannot hear you.
Yeah, his one is not turning blue. His audio is not.
Is he muted?
Wei Guang, are you muted?
No,
He's not muted, I cannot hear you.
Sorry,
Cannot hear you.
Oh,
Oh, you're wearing the earphone.
Reduce the volume.
Sorry, guys, technical difficulties. Why? Still cannot hear him, right?
It's because
His audio
will be blue if he talks.
Got it.
So we're not receiving.
Yeah, we're not receiving your audio. Oh, can type, yeah, sure.
Oh, wow, really got people here.
Okay, guys, thanks for joining the stream. We're just doing the live call right now, but then like I'm so sorry, this is our first time hosting a live call, so expect a little bit of interruptions. But I think Wei Guang is your friend.
Yes, he's our Saturday gang. Yeah, that we hang out with at night.
Who is he? Like, he's also run business one, is it, Wei Guang?
Yeah, he He just changed job, so we are trying to find time to meet up with him. So it has been about a couple of months that we never met.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, couple of months, okay.
Nice person, very very nice guy.
WhatsApp call? Okay, can. But then how you gonna get his phone number?
Pass me the phone.
It's just off the camera.
Alright, now I know. Not so easy.
So I'm gonna call him now.
Okay. Handphone speaker ba. Then the thing we can take out already.
What's yours?
Hi Wei Guang, you're live together with us.
Yes, my question just wrapping halfway through.
Okay, sorry.
Am I on speaker mode?
Yes.
You are.
Hi Wei-Guan, how are you finding the live stream so far?
Yeah, I've been listening from 8 until now.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so I actually saw the first 2 hours. I actually caught a point which is very interesting, and actually I want to ask KK. It's also related to what the host has been sharing. The fact that a friend of you approaches you 6 times to join him for the business. So do you think after these years of in business, it's a calling, or it is in someone that is designated, or in short, my question is, do you think it's designated, or do you think it can be a man-made action?
Is it fate?
I feel this one really is fated. Someone somehow actually brought him to introduce in the family, and then somehow we get acquainted with the business he's in, and I think he's a very caring person. That time where I see him, how come he's so carefree, and then he can actually spend things without blinking an eyes. Particularly I think he's very generous as a person. So I believe this is really a man-made kind of thing.
because we all most of us, I guess, who have heard the story of the Q3 Kingdom, Liu Bei approaches Zhuge Liang 3 times, and I believe there's no more 4th time. So if this friend of you can get you to join him for 6 times, there must be something so valuable in you. Are you able to identify this?
As I say, I think he is very close to my family. So he is not distant. So we often meet. And so one of the point why we are so close, because of the soccer betting as well. I'm actually helping him into soccer betting. I'm actually analyzing, the different odds in every match, every game, right? Such that he gave me basically he find me a able person to analyze games and score accurately for him. So that's where I think he trusts me. I trust him. The calling came, as I said, I lost a lot of money because I feel, hey, we can do this together as a living already. But then when I wipe out the whole entire saving, I said, the calling came for me to join him. So there was a time that, I went along with him, his ideas.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll leave some time for the others.
Thank you, Wei Guang.
Thank you, Wei Guang.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Thanks, bye.
Jerry, got anybody else want to join?
Not really.
Okay. You got send the Google Meets link, right?
Yeah.
Just send again, like bump it, and then after that, no need. I realized do I have Becky Creative's laptop inside? Just no need the Becky Creative's laptop. Then just pump the link again. So how was it cool live call audience? I think very cool for me.
轻笑啊百倍
Okay, so while we wait for someone to join the live call, if any, I have a couple of questions for maybe for you. Maybe like less about your journey, because I think you shared that very well already. I think more about, let me move the microphone. I think more about some advice you have. So I would say, would you say you're a very good salesman?
Yes.
Do you have any advice to somebody making in sales to be better at sales?
I think as a salesperson, generally, first they must be able to attract the opposite parties to start the conversation with you, whether it's artificially or naturally. So the salesman is able to do that. Next will be moving into how you can cut the deal, right? So from presentation to closing a deal is how you can actually keep improving along the way. When you have multiple customers are your sample. You meet 2 customers, you meet 20 customers. Are you able to keep improving, right, your skill further, right? What sort of customers, give you that kind of, difficulties? What sort of customer is so easy to close? So these are things that I believe is a sampling, effect. So you have enough sample, you are able to pick up, this customer is from sample A and sample Z combined. This customer can be ABCD combined, and then you actually react to that customers, and how you can close the deal, or how you can, become a business partner together with him. Yeah.
What is the number one rejection you hear in sales?
I don't trust you. Yeah, I don't trust you. Yeah. So this is something which maybe realize when customers say don't trust means you must have done something that put him off. So example, I have one customer whom we still keep in touch. He bought a lot of products from me, but subsequently because of one word, this product is like this. I remember this word. This product is like this. He said, how come the seats cannot move forward and back? I said, this product is like this. Right? So customers don't like to hear this. What is the added value here? You must able to perform, in front of him why the chair, or the seats cannot do this. You must able to explain, you must able to tell him, you must able to illustrate to him. You don't say this is designed like this. The design is such a way is performed like this. So I remember every customer you got to take them seriously. Yeah.
So you cannot just like upfront say it's because like that, like it doesn't work. Or for example, in my case, it's like it's because TikTok is like this. That's why it doesn't work. You cannot.
Yeah, you got to show. People like you to show. There's salesmanship. People like you to present. There's a salesmanship. People like you to help them. Right? To choose, to even help them to drive, to even help them to negotiate a good deal. That is salesmanship, right? So you must always stand along with them, not opposite them. Yeah.
Okay, got it. How about negotiation? Like, let's say you're at a table with like a lot of like big people, like people in the game, and then you are trying to get the best deal. Well, what was your number one thing that you would go do?
Well, first thing, I'm kind of a person that don't like, big groups.
Okay, got it.
Stage fright is one that is scarier than ghosts to me.
I mean now. Okay.
So a couple of us, I think it's still fine. With the cameras in front, it's still fine. You're able to talk smooth and well. But when there's eyeballs looking at you, you lose all your script. You lose, your attention, and then you lose your direction and bearings. Yep. So, in a context like when you are doing presentation, especially to board directors or these. So far, for our products, we don't need to do so much. Basically, this director that you meet or CEO that you meet, and with a couple of people, So it's pretty simple. The presentation is pretty simple. Not like in a game where you have to supply big fleet of vehicles to government agencies. Then that's time I think it plays the game differently. Yeah.
Okay, I see. Actually, it will be different for you because you're like you already have skin in the game already. So I feel like if you give a presentation to a lot of like people, right, it's easier for you because people respect you, you know. Unlike like if like a nobody come up to the stage, then people won't listen to you, that kind of thing. I don't know. I don't know, right?
I just in an opportunity in this opportunity where my friend introduced me into a BNI chapter just a couple of months ago. Have the opportunity to present to 120 people in a small hall. I
Was
can
it?
tell you every time I prepare, when I went to the center, I lost everything. So
Okay.
I take the opportunity to hone and master my presentation skill. I take it the opportunity there to meet new friends, and I guess that fear hopefully in me slowly, diminish, over time. Yeah. So yeah, I see this as another round opportunity for me to build something which I'm not strong in.
I see. Okay. Okay, then I guess we should close the podcast soon. So for every podcast guest, I always ask them this same question. I mean for the second podcast guest lah. I want to ask you, what do you think your younger self would think of you now?
I think I've done so far so good. Things I've done crazy enough, most people wouldn't do. Gutsy enough, most people don't dare. And importantly, I have learned something, is learn how to spend, time, money, and the qualities of your knowledge and impart them to the next generation or even friends around you.
I see. Okay. And then would you have anything to say to your younger self?
Well, continue to do what I'm like to do. Yep. So that is as simple as that. Yep.
Okay. Buy Bitcoin. I will tell it to my younger self also. Okay, cool.
Buy Bitcoin.
Okay, I have actually a lot of questions, but then like we have run this podcast for almost like 2.5 hours already, so we have to end it. Thank you so much for watching this podcast, everybody. I hope you guys have enjoyed our guest KK, and thank you for sharing your story to us, being so open and like sharing everything about your journey, all the struggle, all the like money you lost, or how you build an empire, and then also all the advice they gave to people who are in the game also of entrepreneurship. Okay.
Thanks, Jaron.
Thanks,
Thanks for
KK.
hosting me. Thanks.
Okay, take care. If you guys want to watch the next podcast, it will be on our Instagram, the Wacky Creatives Instagram. You guys can follow the Wacky Creatives, and yeah, this is the SG Entrepreneurship. This is the SG Entrepreneur. Yeah, my God, let me do the outro properly. This is the SG Entrepreneur Podcast. Bye bye.